Welcome back. Happy summer. When I'm recording this episode, it is the start of summer, the start of my son's summer break. So here we go. And what we're going to talk about today is how to harness the confidence of a 7-year-old boy. Yeah, I am pretty much doing this whole episode off of my son and a couple things that really kind of triggered this conversation that I wanted to have. I actually did a post on LinkedIn. If you're not connected or follow me on LinkedIn yet, what are you doing? Connect with me over there. I post a ton of content over there in regards to leadership, high performance things as well. So if we're not connected, just at Julie Menden, go give me a follow. I'd love to connect with you. But I did a post over there and it has taken off. I've gotten so many likes and so many impressions on LinkedIn from this post, and for a few reasons. First of all, if you're like me and you're somebody who does content, then sometimes we get kind of boring. And I was feeling that. I was like, oh, I haven't been posting as much, just whatever I want to. And this idea had come up for me. And so I posted it on LinkedIn, and now it's got a lot of impressions. Probably part of it too because I posted a picture of my adorable little boy, my little 7-year-old, and was talking about his last day of school. So that might have helped as well. He's pretty darn cute. But I want to talk a little bit about how do we get the confidence of a 7-year-old boy. So first of all, I cannot believe that my little guy is already done with first grade. So it's just crazy. When we dropped him off on his last day, and he hopped out of the car, and I always love seeing he hops out of that car, his like happy chipper self, every single day. This is what I find so impressive. Every single day that we have dropped him off this school year, he has been excited to go to school. Now, some days he's a little more tired than others, but when he gets there and we open the car, it's bye mom, love you. You know what he used to say to me is, bye mom, see you in a million years. The teachers always got a kick out of that. But he just hops out his usual happy and chipper self, and he yells, "Love you, mom." And okay, after my heart melted a little bit and I recovered, I started to think about, like, no lie, I started to pull out. I love to kind of watch him like bounce his way down the sidewalk into the school. And I literally like had this moment where I like flashed and saw him in high school, like this mom moment where it was like, oh my gosh, this is just going by so quick, and I'm just gonna blink and this is gonna be done. And just getting to see him hop out of the car and just his excitement and energy and the love you, mom. But I really started to think about, as I started to drive back home, like this spirited, energetic, curious, and vocal. My little guy is one vocal little boy. He's loud, very stereotypical little boy. He's loud. He's all over the place, always moving, bouncing around. He says what he wants. And it just got me thinking, like, at what age did we start to lose our spirit? At what age did you lose your spirit, that confidence that we had in ourselves? And the thing is, I know it happens. Like, I can think back for myself and know that I'm not, of course we all change, life hits us, we all evolve, but I know that I lost parts of me and that spirit, and that like just dance around and sing and be loud and vocal and say what you want. And I know that my clients do, and I'm working one-on-one with clients. And for example, we're talking about, when I'm working with executive clients, we're talking about what's holding them back from using their voice in the workplace, or if we're going for that promotion or getting in front of the room and presenting that idea, or working with entrepreneurs. It's like, what's getting in the way of you asking for that sale or reaching out? A lot of it comes back to our conditioning and these things that we have, started to hide away. And that's not how we were as kids, right? Like, if you remember back, you can think about, like, we didn't care. If you just think about, and if you have children of your own or any, kids in your lives, especially, those younger ages, obviously they start to get a little bit more like self-conscious, and they start to put on some of those labels as they get older. We started seeing it a little bit now in first grade, versus like kindergarten, where it was like, he just was his own unique spirited person and just didn't care. Like, he just said what he wanted to say, right? Like, when did we lose that? Right. And like many kids, he's not confident in everything. There, again, as he's gotten a little older, we've started to see, a little bit more like, oh, I'm worried what they're going to think or say. And like, we try and nip that in the butt so quick. Like, us Mendons, like, we don't care what those people think. Like, it matters what you think. That's what we tell him. But in general, he just exudes this spirit about him, and he just speaks up for what he wants. And I was remembering back to one of the first times. So he was in Taekwondo and he started when he was only 4, which is so crazy. It's a little cute little Taekwondo uniform. And what they have to do is after you test for a new belt, you have to, get invited to test for a new belt. And then once you are at the class to get your new belt, it's a pretty big deal. They do like a little ceremony. You take off your belt, then you go get your new one and they give you a microphone. And you have to say in the microphone, Mom and Dad, now that I'm a gold belt or now that I'm a purple belt, I'm going to be better at. And it's a great thing. That's why I love Taekwondo, is teaches confidence and respect. And I remember one of the first times that he had to do it and they handed him the mic and he grabbed that. And I'll say not all kids were like this. Most actually were pretty quiet, a little nervous, but he grabbed that mic and he projected his voice. I remember all a little bit like, whoa, there he is. He projected his voice confidently and unapologetically, right? And so many of the clients that I work with and that we see that in general for either one-on-one clients or when we're doing training, doing workshops, things like that, is helping people to really work on owning and using their voice. And, that might look like speaking up in meetings. That might look like offering to present ideas. That might look like giving feedback one-on-one. That might look like being on stages or being more present on social media or video, but it's really owning and using your voice. And we've lost that. So many of us have lost that. And I just want to challenge you to think about, who were you as a kid before you started to worry about what everyone thought? Right? So you've got to really think back. Like an exercise I've done before for myself and with clients is to find a picture of you as a kid. Again, you want to get like a younger picture of you and just really think of like, who was the essence of that person? Like, did you just dance around? Were you just goofy? Were you just spirited? I want you to think about, how could you bring a piece of you back into your current life? What would it look like to confidently, boldly, and unapologetically, so to say, grab the mic, whatever that looks like for you, but to grab the mic and say what you want to say, to do what you want to do, to go for the thing you want to do. And it's, our kids are such a good example for us, because so often, I was just talking to another mom about this, like we'll tell our kids, to try new things, or to it's okay to be nervous, and you're not you don't have to expect yourself to be perfect, like all these things, and all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, like the thing I just told my kid is the message I need to hear myself. My challenge for you is to just think about, like, when did you start to lose your voice, and how are you seeing that show up for you now in your work or in your business, wherever you're at in your personal life? And what would it look like if you were to start to bring some more pieces of who you were as a kid, when we were more carefree, when we had more of that spirit about us, into your life right now? And I actually challenge you to, even if you can find one, find a picture of you when you were a kid, and like, who was that person, and what are pieces of you that you feel like you want to bring back and revitalize, and really think about, what would it feel like to just grab that mic and to just say what you want, and to just own that voice and your unique spirit and gifts and confidence before everyone told us who we should be. Hopefully this message landed for you. And it was just something that I was really thinking about. And again, if we haven't connected over on LinkedIn, let's connect over there and talk through. And if you're somebody who is really looking to kind of I say find sometimes, but I don't know that it's necessarily gone anywhere. It's just kind of like buried down within us, right? But if you're looking to, rekindle that, to find that voice that maybe you feel like you've lost, and to own and use it, send me a message and let's chat on what that could look like for you. If you're an executive in an organization and you want to talk about, executive coaching to help you really with your presence and communication, or if you have a team that you're looking to support in terms of their presence, communication, we run different programs. And of course, if you're, a business owner, entrepreneur who's looking to grow your business, your brand, and your impact more through speaking, definitely want to reach out and learn about our next round of the Speaker Academy coming up in the fall. So I want you to think about this. Who were you as a kid, and what would it feel like to grab that mic?